So a few days ago, this thing arrived in my mail. And what is it? This is a pretty cool universal adapter with a lot of tips. Pretty cool, right? Here's the manual. Here's the adapter. So, let's see this thing. So, what I wanted to do is I wanted to use this instead of this, which chipped and got me really scared because it already happened once to me that an adapter left one of these prongs inside my outlet, and it wasn't really good to see. I was pretty scared. So this happened, and I decided to change it. So you can see here the specifications. Polarity, we will talk about this later. This has no specification, and that's cool because you choose those. Here we have the voltage. That's really cool. And here we have the tip. A lot of tips, because you can change those. Obviously, it's universal. I really like this. So, when I first got this in my hands, first thing I did is I took the most similar tip I could find to the one I wanted to change, and I just plugged it in. And it worked. I mean, it plugged in, and then I plugged it in the other way, and it fit. And then it struck me. Polarity exists. That's not a really common thing to think. So I asked my mother and my dad, if I gave you this, like this, and then asked you to operate it, use it to charge my device, how would you do it? And they both said just, and on 50% of the occasions, they would have fried it. Why? Because they did not think about polarity. Now, what they did here is pretty smart, because they made this interchangeable, because polarity sometimes can be flipped. Sometimes it's like this, you have positive on the internal, negative on the external, and sometimes it's vice versa. So instead of manufacturing twice the number of these and just make them so that you can stack them in only one position and you have two sets of them for positive inside and positive outside, they just decided to let you choose. And that's really cool. I like this. But they needed to be more clear. Why? Because actually those do have directions on how you have to operate them, but they are really unclear, at least to me. So I wanted to talk about this. So what you have here is a tip with the minus and the plus signs on the sides. So first thing that came to my mind is, oh cool, I just need to know which one of these prongs is positive. And then I talked about it better, and then understood that this is not the part that chooses what's positive and what's negative. This is the part that does. So you have one of these that's positive and one of those that's negative. And so why is there a plus here and a minus here? They're not even aligned with the prongs. It must mean something else. And actually it does mean something else, because here we have written on here tip. Now, tip, it doesn't really mean anything, right? I mean, to the average person. To me, it didn't. So, what does it mean to align tip with plus? I thought about it, and the best I could come up with was either that's a standard I did not know about, and that's pretty likely actually, maybe tip means this part is now positive. That's the outer part of the tip. That must be positive now. But I wasn't sure. So I decided to check the manual. Here it is. The manual. So let's pick a language. I'd say English because we all like English, right? And here we go. As you can see, there is some consistency. Negative polarity is named like this because you have the minus sign, negative, aligned with tip, and the minus part, the negative part, is now inside. And here you have the positive part inside for positive polarity, and you have to align the plus with the tip text. Now, that's cool. Now I know how to operate these things. But let's say I did not have this. Let's say I did not even read this. The average person doesn't read this, right? I put this to the side. Now, I've fried my electronics. Pretty cool, right? But it doesn't need to be like this. What I think is that even if maybe what's the information that's on here is correct, what's on here is can tell you everything about polarity, can help you if you know what you're doing, but if you don't, it doesn't help you at all. And what I'm trying to say now is there are ways to let you know that one, polarity matters, two, how do you connect it? I mean, easier ways. So I came up with this idea, which is not that complicated. Just have the tip here, which again decides what's positive and what's negative. So let's say you have negative here, positive here. In this image, you have a negative sign here, which tells you that this hole is negative. And you have a positive sign here, which tells you that this hole is positive. And now you have a tip. On the tip, there are two texts. You have external and internal. So you know that this prong goes to the external part, this one, and you know that this prong goes to the internal part. So when you see a diagram like this, when you see a scheme, you see these, you see, oh, minus goes external, plus goes internal, and you connect it the right way. Like this. Now, let's say that this is English, and that's not good, because let's say, I don't know, a Japanese person who doesn't know anything about English just sees this and goes, what? We have another solution. This one. And I also like this better, because this just uses pictures. We like pictures because we don't need to know a language to understand pictures, and they are the same pictures we have here. So here we have external represented as this part here, and internal represented as this part here. So you can see and match those with positive and negative. That's also really easy to use, right? And also, if you make those not like just embossed in there, but maybe you use a teeny bit of paint just to let the user know that that's important, you know? You have to watch for this, watch out. It will work way better. So that's all. that's my idea on how you can make this usable without having, these or a multimeter, and just find yourself with these and you know how to use it. So I hope this was useful for you at Amazon Basics or whoever in China designed this. And thank you for listening to this.